So what does it mean to you, like showing it in the Central Valley?
Like how much support has been behind this film literally from the beginning. Like when I told people that I was like gonna make this film, like people were like, oh cool, like do you need actors, do you need crew, like do you need props? Like I would post stuff that we've like forgot we needed or something like that, like oh shit, we need a pickup truck, and you know, who could be here tomorrow 9 a.m. Oh, I got you. You know, like the support that it's had like the entire time has just been otherworldly. Like I'm just blown away by it, you know. Like I've got some great friends in LA, don't get me wrong, and they would do, you know, whatever I need, but this is different, you know what I mean? It's like this hometown feel, like everybody rallying behind you.
Welcome back to another episode of Central Valley Podcast. I'm your host, Micah, Diele, a filmmaker, photographer, and a dude passionate about his community. This podcast focuses on the talented individuals that make up the Central Valley of California, as well as people who are passionate about what they do. The Central Valley has gotten a bad rep, and we're here to change that. If you enjoy what we're doing, we kindly ask that you download each episode, subscribe to our YouTube, and leave a rating and review on whatever podcast app you're using. And once again, thanks for tuning into another episode of Central Valley Podcast. Thanks for tuning in to Central Valley Podcast, you guys. On this special episode, we are talking about the movie Central Valley that is playing here in the Central Valley in Modesto at the State Theater on September 17th. They had a show on August 4th, and if you missed that one, there is another opportunity for you to see the Central Valley movie on September 17th. So make sure your calendars are clear. It's a Sunday. Central Valley, can't recommend it enough. It's a great movie, and it's a great episode. Ladies and gentlemen, here is TravisAndreRoss.
Shout out Duffy, shout out Micah.
This is it. Central Valley Podcast.
Hey, big shout out Central Valley Podcast. You know I had to fuck with it. Hey, shout out Central Valley Podcast.
People always talk about the Central Valley because of its fertile land. But if you ask me, everything's either dead or dying here.
I don't care about the money, all right? You can keep the $60.
That's all I got.
But if you want to end up a dead meth head like Mom, then not bringing me and Javi into this.
He didn't make it. He passed away.
I'm just looking out for what's best for my nephew. Is that wrong? I want him to live with me.
Okay. All I need is proof of housing and income.
It's just for a couple weeks, bud.
I'm just trying to handle my bills. I look up to God, can I catch me get cracking? I really don't care what it is. And if it wasn't for Jesus, praying that God can I get it solution.
Boom! Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the Central Valley of California on the Central Valley Podcast. I'm wearing a shirt that says Central Valley and a hat that says Central Valley with the star of Central Valley, Travis. How's it going today?
Excellent, man. Excellent. How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This is freaking awesome.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. So, dude, it's awesome. And honestly, when I saw that there was a movie called Central Valley coming up, and like you reached out to me and everything, I was like, I mean, how could I not have like on the Central Valley Podcast a movie like about the Central Valley?
Yeah, it was the connection. What's really gonna rack your brain is if I came up with the title to the movie before I planned on trying to link up with you.
Yeah. That is crazy, right? You didn't just do it to come on the podcast, man?
Could have.
Maybe.
Could have.
That's cool. Dude, thank you for being here. So why don't you kind of introduce yourself for people who may not know who you are? And if you want a beer, we have a million up here.
Amazing. Thank you. I'm Travis Ross. I'm a writer, producer, actor, and a sweet potato salesperson, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I'm a Ninja Warrior.
Did you go on Ninja Warrior?
Oh yeah, dude.
Really?
Bro, you have no clue how deep this shit goes, man.
Oh, can we look you up right now,
Oh,
Ninja Warrior?
you can look me up and see me get wrecked.
Let's start the show by doing that if we can.
I love it.
Travis, what's your Ross?
If you type in TravisAndreRoss, American Ninja Warrior, you're gonna see a pretty good scorpion. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man! And did you do any like parkour or anything?
Yeah.
Were you?
I mean, dude, I trained for years. Actually, okay. I'm gonna give you the nickel story.
Go ahead.
Okay. So basically, I had a big surgery on my hip.
Yeah.
And I had to get like a metal hip put in, and I'm like recovering after these doctors told me that I would never like walk again and shit.
You're like, watch this.
Yeah, I'm like in there like on my deathbed basically, and I'm like waking up and I'm watching American Ninja Warrior, and I'm like, I'm gonna be on that show in a year.
And were you on a year?
Yeah, like about a year and a half.
Damn.
Yeah.
And so, did you do like parkour and shit before, or or
I didn't
not?
do parkour before, but I did a lot of gymnastics, and I did some rock climbing.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's like
pretty
best.
much what. Yeah. Is this it?
I think so.
Oh.
Sorry, Travis, we're bringing you in like this.
Oh, it looks like a fan video.
Yeah,
He probably knows this person for sure.
definitely.
What year was this?
I think it was 2017 or 18.
Oh, you got some fans?
Yeah, there's a good amount of people there who are digging me.
Oh, there we
Nice.
go. Hey, at least it wasn't the first one. Though, you know what I mean?
That's
That's
the whole
really.
goal. Get past the first one. This is where I got a little overly confident, maybe.
You're like, this is easy. Where, is this in LA? Is that where this is at?
Yep, this is on the back lot.
Okay.
You got it.
Yep, got that.
Oh, almost there.
So close.
Okay.
That was
Travis Ross, ladies and gentlemen.
That was my face. That was
Dude.
my face.
Damn.
How's did it hurt more than it looks falling? Or
This
was it-
week on the Danny Brown Show. Man, they
Nope,
got
wrong podcast.
Danny Brown show. I'll be honest. It actually didn't hurt that much at all. Like it looks a lot worse than it actually was, you know?
Mhm.
But it was fun as shit, you know?
And how you just got into that? Was that kind of motivating you from when you had surgery?
Yeah.
Like, this is my goal.
Yeah,
to
that
kind
was
of
the
get
whole
you
thing.
back and going and stuff.
I literally have videos of doctors that are telling me like, hey, we have to like fuse your femur to your pelvis. And like, so my leg would be just like this. And then this other doctor says like, we're going to cut the top of your femur off and it's just, your leg's just going to float inside there. Like I have them on video saying that to me.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. I'm
And
like,
did you go to get a third opinion?
oh, I got 6.
Yeah, I keep going
I
until
was
someone
like,
gives a
F
good answer.
you guys. And there's this one guy.
And look at you, you're walking around and everything
yeah,
right now,
doing
right?
Great. Doing great.
We're just gonna leave your bone out of the place, man. That's funny, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. This one doctor, he's like, I have something that'll, maybe work, but it's metal on metal. So you could be fucked for the rest of your life. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Well, it sounds like I was gonna be fucked regardless, so it doesn't really matter at this point. I'd rather have the chance of walking than
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is it like a metal hit? Like
It's like a metal femoral head
yeah, I gotcha.
and a metal acetabulum socket. So it's like Bo Jackson. He has that surgery. Yeah.
Dang, so you're Bo Jackson.
I'm basically Bo Jackson, guys. So I don't know if you realize
Cool,
that.
dude.
New athletic goat.
But no, you're like athletic. Like I mean, you're recovered and everything, right? You can
Dude.
move pretty well and everything.
Like, check this out. I play on a national flag football league, right?
And you
to
say
this
with
day.
like ex NFL players.
Yeah, there's ex-NFL players on my team. There's like D1 athletes on the team. Like it's amazing. There's like videos of it. It's great. And I start, so I'm doing something right.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking dope.
Either that or we really suck.
Yeah, what are the other? That's cool. That's really cool.
Washed up NFL players.
That's funny. And then, so I guess we can kind of bring it back.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The movie, huh?
That.
No. So kind of talk about like how the Central Valley movie came to be, what it is, and kind of go from there.
Absolutely. So basically, what happened was I had a really shitty childhood, and I got arrested a few times, and I decided to turn my life around finally. The second time I got arrested, I was a minor. And then probably 10 years later, while I was going to therapy, my therapist was like, hey, you should write down some of your childhood traumas. Like, it'll help. And I was like, okay. So after like 6 months of writing shit down, I was like, oh, there's a pretty cool story here, you know? And then 10 years after that, I was like, I'm going to make this, you know? So I wrote it like loosely for like 10 years, and then...
So that was more like almost like a journal of your life?
Exactly.
In reality, that's what that was?
Yeah. And, you know, I changed it from the movie because, I mean, I was like a kid when I was doing all that. So it's not like a biopic by any means. But it is pretty much everything in there is like in some shape or form based off of what really happened.
Inspired by true events type of deal?
Exactly.
Gotcha. That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
and,
man.
well, I mean, like, as sad as it may have been, like, your childhood, you know what I mean? But it's kind of cool that you got to create something that you're passionate about from it.
Dude, I'm so pumped. Like, I'm like my worst critic, and I'm obsessed with this movie.
That's good,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
and the effect that it's having on people, and like it gives me chills thinking about it. It's,
So where were you raised in the Central Valley?
I was actually raised in Santanella, the truck stop.
Nice.
He's getting married.
That's where I'm getting married at the
That's
at
awesome.
the hotel.
PC Anderson's, right? Oh
no,
the
across the
mission.
street.
Mission, the mission.
Yeah, dude, that's a nice mission actually. That's
And they
really nice.
redid it too recently and everything,
Yeah.
dude.
I can't get myself to eat pea soup, Anderson's. I don't know why.
Oh, dude, I've never been there. I just drive past it and I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
What is this? I don't know.
Pea soup?
Is this really your selling point of the place?
It's like 70 choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Dude, congratulations.
Thanks.
That's awesome,
Thanks.
man. Yeah, I used to jump the fence over there and go swimming. That's where.
Oh, nice.
Nice place.
Yeah, exactly. They'd kick us out.
That was
all the
back
time.
in his days of getting arrested and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, we don't do that
We're
anymore.
well past that.
Yeah.
Duffy, do you want a beer or anything?
Sure.
You want this one?
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Put
so
that out for the seltzer
you're
guy.
raised in Santanella.
Yep. Oh,
You're
yeah.
more than welcome. Do you want a beer?
Yeah, I might.
Okay,
have
so
one of these.
there's a Kolsch. That's an IPA. This is a coconut lime lager.
What?
And then this is a Irish red ale.
I'm doing this coconut lime.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I just had it on the
lager.
last
That just sounds incredible.
This is the beer of the podcast, Blaker
Blaker,
Brewing.
baby.
Yep. So shout out to you,
hell
Blaker.
yeah.
Thank you once again,
Thank you,
as
Blaker.
always. There you go, Duffy, just holding the camera. It might focus on it because it's actually autofocus is
I
on.
should.
Unlike the last episode, you guys.
That is delicious.
Good to hear.
I'm into that.
Hey, cheers, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Cheers. Central
Duffy,
Valley,
well,
baby.
Air
Central
cheers, air
Valley.
cheers.
Air cheers. So you're raised in Santanella.
Yeah, raised in Santanella. I was going to school in Gustine. And then eventually I ended up moving to Gustine, and I terrorized that town for several years. And
Graduated
Exactly.
from Santanella. There's one street. There's two streets in this town now.
Still no stoplights,
Dude,
but you know.
their high school is like, how old is it? Isn't it pretty old?
It's so old.
I did a FFA growing up, and so I remember going there and whatever it's called when you're like stationed by the emblem of Washington. I keep a record of receipts and disbursements. Blah blah blah. So like yeah. Did you do FFA or no?
I only did 4-H.
Oh, okay, gotcha. No FFA. It's like what is it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
It's
what
like
you're
officers,
talking about.
and they have like officers and stuff, and it's like they're ceremonial things.
Exactly.
basically.
Yeah, I know what you're talking. I don't know what's called.
And
but
one
I know
time
what you're
we had to go
talking
to Gustine, and I remember I was like, this is their high school? I was like, how old is this?
dude.
It's like all brick, right? Isn't it?
about. Yeah. It's very old.
Yeah, that's funny. So you were at Gustine for a while.
Yeah, I was there for a while. And the second time I got arrested was actually in Gustine. And I mean, listen, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I was, selling drugs. I was doing bad shit. So I don't blame these guys. But the cops would harass me all the time. They would be driving by my house, and they knew what was going on. But this one cop, I'm not gonna say any names because people will know who he is. But yeah, he arrested me, and I was a minor. And he was like, I'm taking you to jail. I'm like, I'm a minor. You can't do that, bitch. And, And he's like, oh, really? He's like, where's your ID? And I was like, I don't have an ID. And he's like, you look 18 to me. So he took me to the police station, put me under arrest, put me in a jail cell, and scared the shit out of me,
A little bit of wake-up call?
Yeah, a little bit of a wake-up call. And it kind of like, that was like the spark where I started to turn my life around.
Nice. And then how does, from there, how do you get into acting? And then have you wrote anything before? Or was this like your first one? You know, how does the story from troubled kid to wake up call to movie coming out 20 years later? How does that happen?
Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so basically, you know, start turning my life around. It's like, okay, maybe I should like actually learn something in school, you know. So I just started trying to focus. I graduated, which was amazing. It didn't look like I was going to graduate high school. I graduated high school, started going to Modesto Junior College at the time, and you know, I started staying home and trying to like take care of my brother. You know, my dad wasn't around; he left when I was like 8 years old. So I was like watching TV, and I would look up to these guys as like father figures, these actors and stuff, and like, you guys are
who your go-to?
Oh
yeah,
my
who
God,
are they?
you had to ask.
Of course. Who's your father figure?
Bob Barker. No.
That would be a better answer. Okay,
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Oh, dude, I just watched Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary.
Incredible.
Yeah, honestly, that was
God.
like that made me way more of a fan than I was prior. I was like, before I was like, he's Terminator, California governor. I don't really know too much of. I just know kind of like of him growing up, but I didn't know. And then I watched that documentary. I was like, this guy is awesome.
Right?
I was
So
like,
freaking
it made him
good.
seem like definitely like a really good governor. I don't know if he was, you know. I asked people in real life, and they're like, no, not really. Like, I was like, yeah, they were like saying how he brought Democrats and Republicans together, and that's because no one liked him on either side. Yeah. And I was like, oh, well, in the show they made it seem like he was like a bi-party type of guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's funny. No, Arnold Schwarzenegger. So what movies in your growing up?
Oh man, I mean, where to start? You know,
yeah,
like
dude, he has a catalog.
yeah, it was insane. I mean, you know, Terminator was obviously like a great one. He wasn't the best father figure in that film by any means. But you know, like True Lies, Twins. I love
Twins is so good, dude.
So good.
So good. That's like one of the weirdly I watched, not weirdly, but in my childhood, like my mom was like, oh, you just like go pick out a movie, and I randomly picked that movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh wow, like, and like it's random in the sense it was back in Blockbuster days. So I was like, oh, this one looks cool. My mom's like, oh yeah, that should be good. But no, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, and Commando, like, I mean, I don't know when the last time you guys saw Commando.
I don't think since a long time.
Yeah, don't do it. It's so bad.
Oh, dude, but sometimes you guys appreciate those movies when you go back and you watch it and you're like, this is so freaking bad.
Yeah, it is. It's so bad. But I was just like, this is my hero. Like, and he had a daughter in that, you know, and he was like trying to save her and shit. Yeah. So I was like,
and you're taking care of your brother at the time. So
exactly. You know?
You're like, I am him. Yeah. You act like it's that's not. You could have named way worse celebrities than
took
Arnold
care
Schwarzenegger.
of a kid in Last Action Hero.
And kind of. Exactly. I mean, Terminator 1, he was killing everybody, and the Terminator 2, he was saving everybody.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. You know, and Sylvester Stallone too.
Yeah.
Gotta give a shout out to him. Like,
Adrian. It's not how many times you can get. And keep moving forward. You're better than that.
That's how winning is done.
Yeah. Thank you. So 80s, man, huh?
Yeah, dude.
I always strive for that robot butler that he got, and I think Rocky
3. No,
Rocky 3.
I was like, normal. There's robots in the 80s now. What is going on?
And then we beat communism in Rocky 4.
Yeah. The 80s, that's all we did was fight communism in every movie. I was like, damn, that's funny. So, yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're looking up to him, watching him on TV.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, well, I want to be that for someone someday. You know, I want someone to look up at me and think like, oh, this is a good father figure. This is a good person, like a role model, you know, because I felt like I never had that growing up, you know. All my friends, you know, they had their dads come into like sporting events and stuff, and like mine wasn't there, you know. So it was just, but you know, the whole thing is like at the time, it's like you're a kid, you know, you don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
You know? I felt abandoned. Yeah. You know, that was like a big thing, and I blame myself. You know, I felt like I was never good enough. But thankfully, that energy is what made me into the overachiever that I am today, you know? So I'm grateful. Thank you, Dad. But yeah, that's kind of like how that started.
And then from going to MJC and stuff, how do you like start getting into film or videography or acting, any of that?
Absolutely. So actually, my first few roles were at MJC.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I was helping out with the movie program that they had there, and I learned a lot. Like, it was great. And I did my first short film there as an actor, and I realized that I had a lot of work to do to be actually like a good actor, you know? And after like 10 years of acting, I finally got my SAG union card status, you know?
What is that?
So it's
Explain to me.
basically like, it means like you're a professional.
Ah, okay, gotcha. It's like the
actor.
card.
Like the Screen Actors Guild?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Screen
okay.
Actors Guild, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and I had worked on some big movies and TV shows back then. That was around like 2010, I would say. So I did a commercial for MLB. The All-Star, the All-Star game, the one that they had in San Francisco. So I got a couple credits for that. I was like featured guy on that, and then
It's like featured guy number 2 or whatever. You know how they have like they have on it. Were you like, yes, cheering? Were you a fan, or what were you in it?
I was a baseball player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was like
They're like, we're not really using real baseball players, you guys.
they used like some real baseball players and then some
Oh,
of
filled
us.
the rest of the team up.
Yeah, exactly. So like I was like
Who
with
were you there with? Yeah.
Barry Bonds.
Oh,
Like, it
no
was me and
shit.
Barry
That's the
Bonds.
perfect
Wait,
time
were
to.
you-
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome. It was really cool. Except for like they told us ahead of time, they're like, don't look him in the eyes. And I'm like,
What is he? A freaking.
what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
so I'm like trying to talk to him, and I'm just like, oh,
I'm not supposed to.
I'm not supposed to look
And
at
then
you.
Barry Bonds, very
But I did it anyway,
very
you know.
quiet voice for,
Yeah.
for what what he,
the camera.
Yeah, dude,
That's what he
yeah.
said.
Dude,
Okay,
it's so
okay, so we weren't going crazy. 'cause,
yeah,
like,
we brought this up on the podcast before, and like we're like, yo, have you never heard Barry Bonds' voice? Check this out. We like, bring
it's
up the
like
video,
very
and it was
soft
like,
gentle.
and then like they like we watched like 2 or 3 videos, and they were all normal voices, and I was like, no, I've heard like no, yeah, so I don't know what's going
I was
on,
like, I
but
swear
yeah,
his
but he was
voice
like, yeah,
was
hey,
pretty
what's it
high.
going?
Yeah,
Right,
it is.
I mean, it's definitely all the steroids, but
For sure.
yeah.
He's
But that
clean.
was
He's clean. He never did it.
But that was that like so was that like basically like his last year or 2 of
It
him
had to
playing?
be.
You're right.
Yeah,
I was gonna
it had to
say
be.
it had to have been like his
Yeah.
last right before the Giants won 3 World Series.
Yeah, exactly.
You would think they would win with him, but
He
God,
did so much to try to get that ring.
So much.
damn, he never won one, huh?
No.
Gosh,
Lots of
Messed
Golden
up.
Gloves, lots of home run records, lots of hitting records, but no ring.
Right.
man.
Too bad.
Yeah, if you're only just he should have stayed on the team. Oh, they probably can afford him.
Yeah,
actually.
that was exactly.
yeah. So you did like that commercial.
Yeah, and I did. I was a lead on a show called The Day I Almost Died. I did like a bunch of episodes of a show called I Almost Got Away with It.
What is that one about? It
Yeah,
sounds
it's
familiar.
like so they reenact stuff that happened in real life of like situations where these guys like did some crime or some bad shit.
but
and
they're
they
like
almost
we're
got away with
remaking.
it.
They're
Yeah.
remaking it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so they remade all those, and like I was an actor in a lot of them.
Oh, okay,
Sometimes
gotcha.
I would be an officer, and sometimes I'd be a bad guy. Which
Yeah,
is like,
yeah.
wait, do I recognize?
Yeah, from the other, especially if you're watching all of it. This was before streaming though, so it was probably like a week went by
Yeah.
before like it came out. You
good.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so did you move to LA by this time?
No, actually, I was still here because that was
okay,
all in
so-
San Francisco.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was
okay.
curious on where that was.
yeah,
and everything.
yeah. And meanwhile, I was also hosting a TV station, My 58 KCRA Channel 3 in Sacramento. I had one like they had this like host hunt like
Like a segment, kinda, or
yeah, like I mean, I was the host of the whole station or the whole channel at
Yeah.
that time. So I would tell you like what shows are coming up next, stuff like that. And we had our own little block on Sundays too that was called like Garage Cinema, My 58 Garage Cinema.
So is it like usually the shows are coming up? And so is it kind of like, or I just remember on TV Guide channels, you guys, where there was like,
Yes.
you're watching it, but there's a show going on TV Guide or whatever,
Right.
But so is it kind of, but it was like a local station channel. Is that kind of what it was?
Yeah, like so My 58 was like Sacramento, all of Northern California, all the way down to I think like Fresno, maybe.
Mhm.
This whole region,
Yeah.
basically.
Burp-
Excuse me.
Just burp on it, man. Why
Should,
not? Next time.
That means it's good.
Yeah.
I'll turn it up in post. People need to know.
Yeah, they need to know.
Dang. Real quick though, do you think Sacramento's part of the Central Valley?
I do.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Good
do.
answer.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm just saying, if you look at a map geographically, I know they try to identify as like Bay and like other things, or as like NorCal. I'm like, hey, if you still have 8 hours to go till you're to the top of the state, you're not a NorCal. You guys,
NorCal.
you hear that, Sacramento? I know you don't want to be a part of the Central Valley, but you are.
You are. Embrace it.
Yeah, embrace us, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So you're living in Modesto though at the time,
I was actually living in Turlock at that time.
and you're just commuting to Sac and
Yeah,
stuff.
commuting
and
to Sacramento,
and you just
like, every
kind of
day.
were interested in this, or that's kind of what you were going to school for at the time.
Yeah, I was going to school for that and business at the same
Okay.
time. And I actually started working at a sweet potato company while I was going to Modesto Junior College.
Yeah, which is why you still do sweet potatoes now.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Because it seems like I'm sure there's got to be one actor out there named Travis Ross that does sweet potatoes as well as acting. Yeah.
So random. But I love it. You know, people are just like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like in LA, you know, you're like, oh, I'm an actor, a writer, producer. And they're like, oh, yeah. And then you're like, and I have a sweet potato company. Like,
What do you mean?
wait,
Yeah.
a sweet potato company?
Yeah.
How? I thought they just appeared in grocery stores.
Yeah. I didn't know. It's like Whole Foods. They just grow them there. You know what I mean?
They go out back and just like pick them. You know?
Yeah, that's funny. So then you're doing that TV station show, and then what's kind of
So after that whole thing ended with the TV station, I was like, I wanted to continue doing the movie review show because we had a good following at that point, you know. So I teamed up with Brendan Theaters in Modesto.
Okay, and how were you doing the show? Like, how was that kind of like when you started doing it by yourself?
Oh, when I started doing it by myself, I basically I had a guy, Carlos Rodriguez, who would shoot and he would edit. He would basically do everything. And so I would take like 10 to 15 people to the movies for free. Every Friday, we'd watch one movie, and then I would do a review, and then I would ask all of them their opinions about the film.
Almost like a podcast about it, kind of, right?
Exactly.
Before podcasts were
Before
a thing.
podcasts were a thing.
Yeah, dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so was what's it called? Ebert and Rupert? What's it called?
Oh, yeah, Robert and
What's
Ebert.
it? You just Ebert and Rupert, right? Ebert.
And Roper? Ebert and Roper?
I think it's
Yeah.
Rupert, right?
Well, I know there was like a Roger and
movies,
Ebert
yeah.
at one point.
Oh, okay.
But I think
It's Roger and Ebert.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's what it is. Fuck.
Dude, murdered that.
Yeah, both of us did, man. People are just listening like, what the fuck are they saying? Yeah, but that's like when that was, I remember that being popular. That's
Yeah.
what I remember. And so then, but yours was like, so then you just ask people their opinions on the movies?
Yeah, I would ask their opinion, you know, about the film, and it's like my whole thing was I didn't like all their system because all their systems, like the professional ones, because a lot of them, it's like, you know, it's all about bureaucracy. A lot of them get paid, you know, to do these things. So I was like, I just want to give an honest opinion about the film, and I want people, like the people, to give their opinion about the film. And it was based off of entertainment value.
Yeah.
That's what I based it on.
And was this on, where were you putting it on?
YouTube. There's like
YouTube, so-
400 videos on YouTube
you got tons.
from movie reviews, yeah.
Was it called Movie Reviews? Is that what it was called?
It was called like Tea Time Movie Reviews.
Tea Time. Nice. Movie reviews. I like that, dude. That's cool, though, dude.
Yeah.
And then YouTube was what, pretty new at this point, too, though,
It was.
right?
It was on the newer end, and I also did some pranks, and the pranks blew up. Like Ray William Johnson, I think
Oh,
that was.
yeah.
He reviewed one of my pranks, and like shit went viral. Like it had like
Really?
8 million views.
Dang.
So yeah, I had a decent following at that
Uh-huh.
time, and but I didn't like the pranks because my pranks were kind of like assault.
Can you give us an example
Oh,
of what one of
man.
your pranks
Oh,
was? It's
man.
okay, dude. I feel
No,
like
I will.
all prank videos are almost like it's either cringy or it is like an assault type video
Yeah.
where it's like I'm almost like personally I don't like at least the new ones. The new ones are even more
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to pull one up. Check Apples to the Face.
Is that what your YouTube was?
That was this
the name?
prank. This prank was called Apples
Would
to
you
the
just throw an
Face.
apple at somebody?
Worse than that. Let's see if it's there.
Or would it be like on a, what would the page be called?
Would you
Well, I took them down, but people were still like reposting them because, like I said,
maybe just
it had
type
like
Travis
8
Ross afterwards to see.
Yeah,
a prank.
yeah, try that.
There we go. Just do it all.
Okay, so
is it this one?
it's not that one, but
These are all
we're
like-
getting these are definitely some of my workings. Okay, so it's not there.
Okay,
Oh,
no
good.
worries.
Okay, so basically, that's good. Basically, my roommate at the time, we used to like prank each other, just fuck around.
Yeah.
Anyway, he comes home and I've got like the rubber band around the faucet thing in the kitchen, and I'm hiding in a pantry. And I'm like, hey, you know, I'm going to do this thing. And if it doesn't work, you know, pillowcase, apples, you know. So I put the apples in a pillowcase. And he comes in the kitchen eventually and he like goes to like turn the faucet on and he sees the rubber band and he was like, huh. And then I come out from behind him and I just whack the shit out of him. And it's just like the sound it makes when it hits his face and he like falls to the ground.
Oh my God.
Is devastating.
That's like a whole sack full of apples.
Okay, I replaced him though because I'm not that guy. I'm not that mean.
Yeah.
So I actually put socks that were wadded up.
Oh,
it's
okay.
still really hard.
Yeah.
I took him out. Like he was, you know, and the sound was just like he's just like, oh, but thank God it wasn't apples. He probably would have died.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking, honestly. I was like, man, a bag of apples. I was like, you could kill somebody. I remember when I was in high school one time, our group, I don't know who it was, but somebody in our group, they just chucked an apple at somebody and literally it just like hit the side of the dude's face and exploded. I mean, it was hilarious, but that dude wanted to fight somebody instantly.
Oh, yeah.
I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know who did it. Not me.
Yeah. No.
This podcast is brought to you by Marcus Rodriguez. If you're looking to buy or sell your home in this competitive market and you're not too sure where to start, look no further than Merced's preferred realtor, Marcus Rodriguez. He'll make sure the process goes as easy as possible, and you can reach him at 209-554-1715. Once again, that's 209-554-1715. You can visit his website, www.myagentmarcus.com, or email him, info@myagentmarcus.com. Thanks again, Marcus. This podcast is brought to you by Be Junk Free Merced. Everyone has stuff that is taking up space, but not everybody has the time or equipment to do something about it. And that's where Scott Livesay comes in. If you have junk overtaking your garage, yard, that spare room, or even a storage unit, give Be Junk Free Merced a call at 209-233-1519. Once again, it's 209-233-1519. He'll give you an estimate, and the best part about Be Junk Free Merced is that he will clean up the mess for you. So you just point, and he'll clean it up for you. You know how he's not going to drop off a trailer and make you do the work. He's going to make sure that he does the work for you guys. So go ahead and give Scott Livesay a call at 209-233-1519. Thanks again, Be Junk Free. This podcast is brought to you by Thore. No, not the God of Thunder, the dude who does tattoos in Merced. Now, if you're in the Central Valley area and you're looking to get a tattoo, look no further than this dude right here. He's a versatile artist that specializes in black and gray realism. He's located in Merced at the Merced Tattoo and Piercing Company. And if you'd like to make an appointment with him, the best thing you can do is follow him on Instagram. That's @_THOREEEEE. That's @_Thore with 5 E's. You click the link in the bio, and that is exactly how you make the appointment. So thank you again, Thor, and please go check him out. So you started pranking people.
Yeah.
You got attention from it, though,
Yeah,
right?
I got attention from it, and then I was like, it started getting like a lot, you know, and I was like, oh shit, I don't want to be known for like hurting people.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, hey guys, that's cool, but what about this?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so I started doing these things called epic challenges. Those were fun. You know, that was like tasing people and, you know, suppositories in your asshole type stuff. It was fun.
So completely different than pranks.
Yeah.
Pranks on yourself and friends, basically, at this point.
Yeah. So that, you know, we segmented into that, and then segued into that, and then we went into some parodies. We would make parodies of movies and TV shows and
That's
stuff.
all we do, man, is we make parodies
See,
on the show.
I love
man.
that. We got to do something together.
No, yeah, we are. We're after
Definitely.
this. I don't know what, but we're do something.
Hell
Figure it
yes.
out.
All right. Yeah, and then it's like I started building up my own equipment, you know, because I was like, I like this, you know, and I wanted to do more of it.
And you were editing all your own stuff at this time,
At
or
this time, I did start to edit.
Okay,
like
gotcha.
I learned from the guy who used to do it for me.
for the movie review show?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
And I mean,
gotcha.
this dude is amazing. Like, he taught me so much, but he's so busy. He works for Fox, you know, so he was
okay.
like doing that at the time, and he was just so busy. So I was just like, oh, excuse me.
There we go. We got it.
we got that.
We'll put it in the place of the other ones.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, cool. Like, you're busy. I get it. Like, anytime you want to be part of this, like, you can just come through and we'll do this. But otherwise, I'm just gonna learn how to do it. And I bought a camera. I bought all the lights. I bought all the equipment. And then slowly it started like progressing into like we did a short film contest and we won. Like,
oh damn,
yeah, we won, and they like invited us to LA, and we screened our short film over there, and I was like, this is cool, and it's like, I'll be honest with you guys, like, acting is great, but more times than not, you're doing something you don't want to do.
Yeah, I imagine, yeah.
So it's like, it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be,
Because you're passionate about that project, you're making your own short film, you're like, oh man, this is going to be cool, but then you go on other people's project and you're just a guy, like, you're a worker there, you're not
you're a worker, and
like, we don't want your input right now, okay?
Yeah. And half the time I'm being something that I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what acting is.
That is what acting is.
Just kidding.
But the best acting though is like the closest to your genuine self.
Yeah, or like having a connection with a character or stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I was King Midas in 6th grade, you guys.
See,
so. I know.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a short film. We got me and my buddy Jimmy, we made a short film. I'll show you after. It's a Western and everything.
Oh, hell yeah.
We made it in 2020.
Can't wait, dude. It's perfect.
Yeah. So then you're doing jobs that you're like not too passionate about.
Yeah.
And at this point, you're doing anything, kind of? Like whatever's coming your way in the beginning?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything and everything.
What's the funniest thing you think you've done? Or like that you like look back and you're like, well, I can't believe I did that.
You know what is actually like, there's so many of those. But I think the funnest thing I did was like a commercial for NutriBullet.
Oh, yeah. And those were popping, man.
Oh, man. I'm like this total bro, and I'm like teaching. I'm like, yeah, this is what you got to do to get your body right. And I go into this like cold plunge, and they put
that's
real
before
ice.
Cold plunges were cool too.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. They put real ice in there, and like I'm supposed to get up out of this thing and say lines, and I couldn't say
just
the lines.
over and over.
I was just like, because I was so cold.
Like, can we just cut this to the next scene, you guys?
And they ended up using that part when I couldn't talk. I'm like, shout out to
NutriBullet.
And they ended up using it. I'm like, oh, that's me. Okay.
It's so funny. You're just a bro.
Yeah.
You're like, the thing that keeps me lean and strong is this blender right here.
Essentially.
And then like I didn't know what was first, NutriBullet or Magic Bullet, because I remember they were both. Like, look that up, Duffy. Let's take a guess. What one do you think was first?
I think Magic Bullet came after. I think.
I don't know.
I think it came
I'm gonna
after.
go Magic Bullets first.
Okay.
But, I mean, I just remember seeing Magic Bullet. Honestly, I don't know, because at this point in my memory, they're probably both commercials on TV that I didn't know.
Definitely.
But I remember it being like a 30-minute show. They'd be like, "This is NutriBullet." I'm like, "Why is there a 30-minute show about this thing?"
Oh, NutriBullet came from Magic Bullet.
Holy shit. Well, there you go, good sir.
Yep, I was right.
Nailed it.
2012?
Yeah.
No, 2003.
That was Magic Bullet.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that long ago?
Yeah.
Wait, or no. Successor means before?
NutriBullet, a successor. No, yeah, that means after. The successor of Magic Bullet. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dang, now everybody knows, okay? Magic Bullet was first. That is really funny that you were like just like kind of like a douche, basically, or like a gym bro.
Total gym bro. And basically, I was like trying to get people to buy into my workout, and then this guy like stops me like when I'm like, I can't, you know. And he's like, they cut to him, and they're like, how about you just eat your greens and like.
In a blender.
In a blender. Yeah. So that's what it was.
Was it showing you like working out in it and shit? Or
yeah,
no?
like there's like weights on the ground and I'm like trying to do bicep curls and shit.
You're just like doing them wrong.
I don't have a shirt on. I'm just like
this is how I always am in the gym.
Exactly. Total doucher. It was great.
What about one more? Because that was really funny, man.
Yeah, that one. Let's see. What's another really funny one?
Man.
Oh my god. I did so much garbage.
Just like commercials and stuff.
Yeah, I did a lot of commercials, but also characters that I had to play that you know what? This isn't I actually really liked this.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's like ridiculous. So remember the movie Superbad?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have some friends that
We got to start biting off Superbad, honestly.
right.
Maybe we'll do that.
Hell
Maybe we'll
yes.
do that.
Hell yes. So yeah, Superbad. The grocery store, not the grocery store, convenience store. I think
Yeah,
that's what
where
you
they're
would
buying
call
the
it.
liquor?
Yeah, where they're buying the
Okay,
liquor.
yeah.
Okay, so that's in LA, and I have some friends who were making a short film, and they wanted to film there. So we filmed there, and like I'm like the counter attendant,
Yeah.
and I like they didn't tell me to do this, but like they gave me a wig, and they're like, make a character, and I'm like, all right, fine. So I put this fucked up wig on, and my eyes are crossed, and I'm kind of like just like my mouth is messed up too, and the guy that had to come up and try to like make an exchange with me, he couldn't do it because he just kept laughing because my face was so fucked up. Yeah. So that was and I didn't. Yeah, that was another like ridiculous moment.
Me and Duffy with some of our skits we have to do like that. It's like we do our parts by ourselves. So when we used to do the promos, it was Sunday Conversation with Caleb Presley. So it was very similar to that, where like we'd film the guest and then we'd be like, hey, I'm gonna say something like this. You react 5 different times to it in different ways, right? And then I would chop it together, and then I would record mine and Duffy's parts completely separate. So they really have no idea what we're fucking doing. You know what I mean? And I can't believe so many people were just so trusting in me because like. We could have easily made people look really dumb, but we did it.
We've had some promos where we did make people look
yeah,
but we asked first, and they're like, ooh,
yeah,
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. But me and Duffy were doing one the other day, and like it was a scene where like we had to look at each other. We were
trying to reenact the scene from Paid in Full.
Paid in Full.
Oh,
yeah. And
yeah,
so the water
dude,
scene
that's a great scene.
Oh, we couldn't do it. It was hard.
Yeah. Well, we were like, phone one, we like put our cameras up and we filmed it, but like my head's it's like through the car, like my head chopped off and stuff. But then like we're like doing the scene, and I was like we were just like looking at each other. I was like, man, we don't really look at your friends in the eyes that often. And like we were like looking at each other in the eye. I was like, is this gay, man?
Uncomfortably intimate.
Yeah. It's like crazy how much you realize you don't look your friends in the eyes.
Yeah, and especially like when you're like really focused on it, like we're both doing this.
That's what happened. We kept doing it. We both kept busting up laughing every single time we looked each other in the eyes. So I was like, all right, we can't do this, man. We were just like looking off to the side of it. And so by that time you moved to LA?
So I moved to LA in like 2013. Okay. That's when I moved to LA, and I was doing great out there. I was working. I've been on General Hospital. I've been on Major Crimes. I've been on a movie.
About CSI or anything like that? I just say that because there's a whole bunch of like
there are. I actually didn't do any of the CSIs. Like
you weren't a killer one time.
I know, right? At the time, it was like a conflict with Major Crimes.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha,
So I didn't do that one, but I did this film called Lasso too, and that was super fun. I got to play this like roided out cowboy that kills senior citizens at a rodeo.
Dang.
It's pretty fucking great.
Yeah. Dang.
Did you get to do roids?
You were method acting?
I was already doing the roids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
you were method acting?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You're just fucking walking around.
It's for my job.
I'm allowed to do this. I'm an actor, dude.
Strasbourg style.
Yeah. Just living it. No, that is cool, dude. And then so what's your favorite thing to act in, or what have you? I mean, obviously something that you're passionate about, but if it's aside from that, is it like movies you prefer?
That's honestly, as far as like series versus film, like I have no preference, but like I do love a good comedy. I love just being kind of like getting that out and just being a fun, ridiculous character. Like I love Workaholics.
Oh,
I think those guys are those guys are amazing. I got a couple friends and we have that chemistry together. So we're working on a show.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Involving flag football. I'm kind of excited.
Oh, dude, that's good. And you guys take it like super seriously, right?
Dude, it's life.
Yeah, it is life. It is life. Yeah. That's good. I like that premise. That's a really good premise.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that one. But yeah, other than like, I think like the stuff that does me justice is like the stuff that's like real, like that I can relate to, whether it's something that I experienced growing up or other people close to me have experienced that I can like channel. That's the stuff I really love. That I love doing. It just it's fulfilling.
Yeah,
and that's why I ended up doing my film is because I decided like after going to therapy and stuff, I was like, it's like I'm not not totally satisfied with acting in general by itself, because it didn't feel like it was giving me what I was missing, you know, like I was craving this thing. And a lot of the times, you know, unfortunately not for everyone, but for me, it was like acting felt really like surface, like superficial kind of.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, and it's like I'm not that guy. I'm not trying to be you know, like famous. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not that. I want to tell stories. I want to influence people. I want to affect people. I want people to feel things. You know, and I want to make a positive change, and especially in the Central Valley, man. Like this is where I want to shoot my movies.
Yeah,
like
that's cool, man.
all of them. You know
that's
what I mean?
awesome, dude.
Yeah. So
and so you ended up writing the movie. You wrote the script, and was that your first time writing like a full script?
Oh my God. Okay, so the first script I started writing was in 2008 when I was like, okay, I want to start making my own shit. I started writing, and it's about a vampire. It's about a vampire.
Man, you were ahead of the craze, though.
Yeah, kind of.
It was called Twilight.
Yeah, it was called. Yeah, definitely. It was in that Twilight era for sure.
Yeah, dude.
Wasn't inspired by that though. Okay.
Was it like darker?
Yes, very, very much darker. It was more Lost Boys.
Oh,
you know?
okay, gotcha. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cooler.
Like very realistic.
Yeah.
You know, like if someone told you a vampire was real, you'd just say fuck off.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But that's what it was. And then now it's actually changed, and it's like because I never finished it. You know, I was like always waiting for this piece that I was missing, and I finally found that piece after writing Central Valley.
Wow.
Yeah,
full,
dude.
like what, 12 years later?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to shoot that one next, but I want to shoot something before the end of the year.
Oh.
And that one's not going to be ready, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I see what you shoot.
Yeah, dude.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And so you wrote Central Valley.
Yeah.
That's your first completed one?
That's my first completed script.
Yeah.
And I started writing it, like really writing it in January of 2020. Me and my writing partner, we wrote it for like probably 4 months it took. And
what is that process like?
Oh my God.
So you kind of have your notes that are everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you're
10
like,
years of notes.
Yeah. And then you're like, how do I?
Yeah. And it's like, it's really cool. All right. Have you ever heard of Save the Cat?
I don't think I have.
Oh, dude, this is like, if you ever want to write like a film, like this is like the manuscript for it. It's so basic. It's so basic. It lays everything out for you, but it's genius. It really is, because like as much as I hate to say like, oh, I don't want a structure, I'm an artist, you know what I mean? But it's like, no, dude, you have to hit certain beats in a film. You have to.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like this kind of helps you figure out what those beats are, and you can define them. And then after you lay everything out, you can decide what you want to take out.
Yeah.
But this will like just totally and if
like helps with the plot and like everything. Yeah.
The structure. And it's like 15 beats. For every film there's like 15 beats. And he breaks down movies like Inception, The Matrix. All films have these beats. It's wild. It's wild. So if you do that, like, so that's what I did. I was like, okay, I'm gonna break this down. So I took all my notes, and me and my friend, we collabed on it, and we got the basic beats down, and then we slowly like started writing it, and we would just sit together for like 6 hours a day, every day, and just hammer it out.
And then pandemic hit.
Oh my God, dude. Pandemic hit, and we're like, we are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then because I'm part of the union, the film had to be a SAG film.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. So we were like, I don't think we're going to be able to shoot, you know? So in June, they were like just starting to like be like, okay, maybe you can shoot, you know, the unions. And I called them. I was like, listen, we have everything. We have the COVID protocols and all that. Like,
also, the Central Valley doesn't care.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to tell them.
Yeah, you're like, listen, it's actually way chiller than it is here in LA over here, you guys.
So chill. So chill. So, you know, I was like, yeah, we have, you know, everything we need.
Yeah. We got everything under control, man.
Yeah.
This is
super achievable.
Yeah.
So we shot it. We shot like 20 days in a row in June.
In Central Valley.
In the Central Valley.
In Santanella and Gustine, or where?
Santanella, Newman, Gustine, and Patterson.
That's dope.
Nice. Yeah.
And how did you go about like getting the actors, like executing it, because it's your first film that you made, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like, how's that process? Where it's just like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, so first of all, it's like I wanted to use as much Central Valley talent as I could, like not only actors but cast and crew also, you know. So thankfully all the homies from back in the day that I kind of grew up with, like some of them stayed here and they're still doing film stuff. Some of them moved to LA and they started working on bigger projects, you know, and it was amazing. They were working with studios, but COVID, they weren't doing shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, what up? Like, come through, you know? Like, let's go, let's do this. So my really good friend Eric Wan, he's actually the DP on the film. He's one of the cats that, like, I started working with him I think in 2009, and we have worked together on everything that I've done ever since then. Like, this dude is talented all the way around. He's like a great writer. He's an actor. He's a DP. He's great with the camera, director, anything. Like, he can do it all. He's incredible. He's gonna be here too.
The premiere.
Yeah, dude. I'll introduce you, man.
Cool,
it's
cool.
gonna be great. Are you gonna come?
Oh, we're going. I'm gonna. It's on Friday. On Friday at
7 p.m.
The State Theater.
Yeah.
If you're available.
Okay.
I'm shooting the event for him.
Yeah. Where's
I'll
it?
get you a ticket. State Theater.
State Theater in Modesto.
Modesto?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I have anything.
Cool, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So you'll get to meet him. But anyway, so him and some of the guys that he works with came from LA. Everyone else we use, and he's from the Central Valley.
Okay, go.
And then everyone else we use from the Central Valley, except for like 2 actors I brought from LA. One of them is Joseph David Jones. He's incredible. He's been in Allegiant, Detroit. He's been in so many amazing films and TV shows. And then the Gabrielle Walsh is the female and she plays Maria. She's on a show right now called NBC's Found. And she was in Paranormal Activity. She was one of the main people.
That was
in that.
The one with the name Micah, right? Isn't that?
I think so.
Yeah, it was just spelled Micah though, and everyone's like, "Oh." Came out when I was in high school, and everyone was like, "Micah." I was like, "No, it's Micah, but it's spelled the same." You guys, really? And because that film was like a super low budget indie film too, wasn't it?
Yeah. And but by the time that they shot the one that she's in,
it's like Paranormal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It was like I think the 5th one or something. It was the marked ones is what it's called.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So they had a lot bigger budget then.
Gotcha. Yeah.
They were swimming in it at that point. But yeah, so, and she was referred to me by a homie. There's no way that I would have got her or Joseph David Jones to like be in the film without like knowing someone. You know? Joseph was a good friend of mine, and she was a friend of a friend. So I told her the character, and she really related to the character. So she was like, "Yeah, I'm in. Let's do this." You know.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. And then casting, I did a casting call out here where I put it up on the website, and I put it on Facebook, stuff like that. Told people what we needed, and then people responded, and we cast characters from out here. Some of them are like my friends, like kids and stuff. Like some of them, actually, like one of my good homies. Growing up, he became a police officer in Newman, and he's in the film as a police officer.
That's
it's
cool.
So dope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and this one guy's like, "I don't believe that guy's a real police officer." I was like, "Bitch."
You wouldn't believe this. He actually is not acting right now. This guy's not believable. I'm going to say that next time I get pulled over. I don't believe you're one, man.
See if it works. Why not? Yeah. So yeah, that's how the casting went. And here's the crazy part. Like in film, locations are so expensive. And I actually like, I can't remember what year it was, but I apologized publicly to the city of Gustine when I turned my life around.
Public statement.
Yeah,
to the city.
basically. I'm like, I'm sorry for being an asshole growing up.
But you like went there and told them that, or just like a video that you're like,
I went there.
Attention, Gustine. I used to be an ass. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I went there at one point when I was visiting my mom. She lived there for a long time.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
you just went around back to the police officers and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Cool.
And then fast forward to when I'm deciding to shoot this film, I was like, hey, like I really want to shoot where all this stuff really went down. And the mayor at the time, Doug Dunford was his name. He was like, whatever you need, Travis. Like anything, seriously, anything you need, we'll block off streets for you. Come through. And I was just like,
that's big.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that was incredible. And then the city of Newman also. What is his name?
The mayor or something? 2020 Newman.
Yeah.
Mayor? Yeah.
Casey Graham?
No. Maybe it wasn't the mayor. Maybe he was like the
city council person or something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's going to destroy me if I can't figure this out.
Former city council member.
Yeah, I was like, if I look up elected officials, sometimes they have the old ones.
It's like all the past ones. There we go. Do any of those guys look familiar?
No, I suck. I am a shit person.
Leroy.
City of Newman. I'm going to find it real quick.
Está bien. Dun, 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 dun. We gotta add that to one of the. We gotta add that to one of the.
This is definitely gonna make the podcast right here, right?
Yeah, this dead time, dude. I'm always so like afraid, not afraid, but like when I talk to people sometimes and it gets quiet for like 2 seconds, I'm like, I gotta fucking say something. I gotta say something. I need to blurt out. We had
they're gonna leave. They're gonna.
We had a city council member, not city council member, a guy running for California Assembly on the other day, and I was like he said something, I was like, I gotta respond, and I was like, yeah, that really makes me think of and I was like going on, I was like, honestly, I don't know, I don't know what I'm saying right now. I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
I was trying to help, but I was like, I don't even know where you're going.
I
got it.
I found it.
What's his name?
Okay, so City of Newman, Michael E. Holland.
Michael Holland.
Yeah, this guy. He helped out so much. Like, same thing as Gustine. He was like, hey, whatever you guys need, we'll make it happen. Like, they even brought like soccer goals to some of like the parks that we needed. Like,
oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They did all like the skate park. We did a lot of the skate park and stuff. I feel like I'm part of the reason that we have that skate park in Newman. I'm just gonna say.
There we go. Yeah.
So
that's cool. So then you started filming it. So you wrote it and finished it when? Wrote it and finished the script when?
We finished the script. I mean, technically we finished it like the day before filming. Like, yeah, we were doing rewrites all the way up until the day before we shot, which is we started shooting in June of 2020.
Dang.
Yeah, it was wild. And then we shot for like 20 days straight, and then we shot again in like October. We shot another week, and then we shot one more weekend I think in November.
Really?
And that was like the basic, like, okay, now we have that part done. We got shut down because of COVID.
Oh, like halfway through, kind of?
Yeah. So it's like, okay, you can't shoot anymore. You got to stop for a little bit.
Dang, isn't that so hard? Because you're trying to get all, like, so at this time, you have people helping you, obviously, but like, you got to organize, like,
dude,
how many people's different schedules?
Oh my gosh, it's insane.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is,
like, I'm trying to think about how that.
There's like 20 people.
Yeah, so you're like, but other actors have other stuff going on and everything.
That's just crew.
else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was wild. It was very difficult to do all that. And organization is the name of the game. Like, if you really want to do like a feature film or anything like that, if you want people to take you serious, you have to be organized. So it's like we plan like each shot that's in the film. Like, we planned like, okay, 30 minutes for this shot. We know that how much that's going to take, you know, how many takes we're going to need of this. And you break it down to like 15 minutes, you know, like, so it's like 15-minute increments. Like, we know everything that's going to happen, exactly when and where.
Dang.
Because you're constantly fighting light. Like, it's like during the day you're fighting daylight, night stuff you're fighting night. It's like constant, you know.
Dang.
Yeah.
And then didn't you say that, or we talked on the phone, that it was like your equipment, right?
Yeah. So I had built up like equipment over like 10-year period when I knew that I wanted to take this seriously. So I started buying like really expensive shit.
Yeah.
You know, like the camera I have is it's a Red 8K Monstro VistaVision camera, full frame.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the brain alone is like 50 grand.
Yeah.
You know, to build the camera is like 100
yeah.
grand. You know, it was crazy. And then the lighting is so expensive.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why this is the budget friendly. This is the budget friendly, bro. Because what is the aperture lights? I'm like, hey, I could get a light that's fucking $800 cheaper, you guys. That's like relatively pretty close. I mean, at my expertise of it.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It is wild. And it's like the color temperature. That's what it all comes down to, you know? And even the meter to tell what color the light temperature is $2,000.
Damn.
Just to tell you what the light temperature is.
Yeah.
And you have to know all that information because you got to be able to input it into the camera. So that way everything looks right. That's why shit that we do at home and shit that you see on TV just looks like night and day difference half the time. You know what I mean? It's wild. So for me in my head, it was like to be the best I can be at, producing and making movies, I had to learn everything. So I learned how to gaff. I learned the lighting, the color. I learned how to direct. I learned everything with production. Acting, obviously.
And so you were acting, and then were you also working on sets and stuff as well down there?
Absolutely.
So you were doing so you weren't just acting, you're doing a little all aspects of it.
Yeah.
So when you walked on set and you were acting, you were like very noticeable, like you could
aware, right?
Yeah, you're very aware of all this stuff going on.
Everything.
Where like some people are just actors or just gaff or just DP or whatever. So you had a whole tool belt with you, man.
The whole thing, man. And it was helpful because like sometimes I would know based on where the camera is, like, okay, I gotta cheat open a little bit without the director even having to tell me that. I would already know, and then he'd be like, oh, I was gonna tell you need to turn your body, but you did it on your own. I was like, yeah, because like, I know, I've been there, man.
Yeah. That's cool. And then dude, that's wild. And so when you're acting in it though, is it like a lot going on? Because it's obviously like it's like your baby, right? You know what I mean? It's like this is like everything that you put your heart into, but then when it comes down to it, you're like supposed to be focusing on acting, but then you're also thinking about all this other shit that's going on. So how was that like mentally trying to deal with that?
It's like it actually goes back to like my acting process. My whole thing was I want to learn. I want to learn from like everyone. I want to learn from all the greats that are acting teachers and coaches and stuff. And like one of the guys that I learned a lot from, his name is Larry Moss. He's a big guy in LA. He worked with a lot of like big people, including Leonardo DiCaprio. That was like his main guy. Sometimes Leo would bring him on set to be his acting coach. And this guy is like, he's old now. Mm-hmm. He I don't know if he's still even coaching anymore, but if he is, anybody who's out there that's an actor, like take his class because it's life-changing. Like I've never been in a class that is like this one. Mm-hmm. It's wild. But anyway, so I learned this process that I kind of created based off of everyone else's process, and one of the big things is like how to turn off everything else, right? And really hone in when it's time to go. Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to do on my set a lot, was because like you said, like I'm, as soon as the camera's not rolling, I'm thinking about 12 different things.
Yeah, right.
And it's like, I have guys to do all this for sure. People, to do all this stuff, but it's still, you can't help it when it's your baby. Like you're saying, like you're going to be thinking of everything because you want it to be great, Mm-hmm. But man, you're going to see this movie, like the emotion that you see in this film is all real. Mm-hmm. Like that is all shit from my past. It was very therapeutic playing this character, mm-hmm. And that's half the reason I did it right there. Yeah.
And so go ahead.
Oh yeah. Cause I saw in the trailer, you like at one point or in one scene in the trailer, you're crying. And I'm like, how hard is that to do when you're like doing all of these things too? And at the same time, you just have to lock in and then like find that emotion, or is there stuff that like, is there like not like a pre-game routine or anything, or I guess
totally. Yeah. Like if you look at a script that I have, like it looks like you're barely gonna see any of the actual writing on the script because there's notes all over my scripts. There's on left and right side. On the actual words themselves, I make notes. I underline stuff. I put arrows on stuff. Like I know exactly what I'm gonna be thinking about. For every word basically that I'm saying, and that's like part of my method is like intention. What is my intention? What's my thought for this line, and whatever you're thinking about is going to change the way you say something or what you're feeling, but yeah, the crazy thing is like before I had gone to therapy, I didn't cry from probably the time I was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years old to the time I was like 20 something. I might have cried like once or twice because of a breakup or something, but it was like barely anything, and then therapy happens and I'm just like floodgates.
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, it was crazy. You just let it out. And it's because you're finally taking care of that little Travis, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it was pretty wild, but that was the whole thing. Like this was a therapeutic process, being this character and getting it out, you know.
Because it's based, so you would say it's inspired by true events that happen in your life, correct?
Yeah.
And then kind of walk people. I mean, we watched the trailer earlier, but kind of give us like an overview of the movie without spoiling it.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The log line is basically when Tim's younger brother suddenly passes away. Tim, who's a 35-year-old drug peddler, drifter, must figure out if he's going to rise to the occasion and take care of his 10-year-old nephew, or if he's going to let him go into foster care. So that's kind of like the
tagline of it.
Yeah, the tagline.
I love the
log
switch in the trailer, bro. It's like he's like, it's just only gonna be here for a couple weeks, and then the whatever rap song, and it's just like it throws it. I'm like, oh man, that's fucking dope. And it looks like a lot of shit happens in it, honestly, dude.
It gets crazy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I want to see how all this is tied together. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like, I'm like, there's guns and stuff. What's going on, man?
And you know, honestly, making the trailer, I didn't do it myself. A friend of mine did it, Kevin Stevenson. He's an amazing guy. But even that was hard because there were things that I just did not want to put in it. I just felt like no, that's
Giving
a
it away.
spoiler. Like I don't
Yeah.
want that in there. It was really hard. That was the first time I ever made a trailer, like or had
because you were
produced
exactly
a trailer. You know,
yeah.
it was very challenging. You know.
That's cool, dude. No, I really, I'm looking forward to Friday.
It looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, thanks.
Because
man.
normally you see something like when the movie is Central Valley. That's just the full title, right?
Yeah.
When I heard
That's
that, I
it.
thought it was going to be like a documentary about
Right.
Central Valley
Totally.
or something, and then you get in the trailer and you're like, "Whoa, this is
Was
pretty
that when did you
intense.
think of the name for Central Valley? The name Central Valley, was it early on?
How
Was
many
it
weeks
after?
ago did we talk?
Like when not on the phone, like prior to that.
No, it was like right when you told me, like, you know, you might be willing to have me on the podcast. I was like, all
That's
right,
what
gotta change the name.
A lot of people, a lot of people hear that.
No. we changed the name. Like it was originally called Unk, which is short for uncle.
Okay.
Oh,
That's what it originally was. But people were like, Unk?
Yeah.
They're like, what does that mean? You know? So I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's
Really?
not gonna work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, and then like some other places would call it UNC.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm like, no, dude, Unk. You know?
Oh,
So-
UNC.
they
Like,
think they're going to see a
UNC.
documentary about the Tar Heels or something
Exactly. Yeah. So
UNC.
yeah. So I was just like, no, we gotta change this. So we did a couple focus groups, and I just straight up asked people. I was like, what do you think the title of this should be? And we had a couple people that were like, it definitely needs to be the title of the place because this is like the character, you know.
Yeah.
Central Valley is a character in this film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Central Valley. So I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. Like,
Yeah.
let's roll with it, you know?
That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
no,
man.
I really like it too. Yeah, I don't even know how I. Who did I say that I was talking to?
Okay, so it's so funny. I love her to death. Okay, so my friend Nikki,
Yeah.
Lesbianist movement. She's the one. She hit you. She hit me up first.
Yeah.
She's like, Travis. She's like, have you seen the Central Valley podcast? And I was like, actually, I have. I think I follow them. She's like, you got to go talk to those guys.
They seem right up your alley.
Yeah.
man.
They're like, you guys will hit it off, and they're right up your alley. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, she's like, I'm gonna reach out to them.
Yeah, because I told you, I was like, yeah, she was so enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Dude,
Like,
I can't wait for you to meet her in person. She's
Yeah.
incredible. She's
That's
like
awesome,
a ball
dude.
of energy. She's
Cool.
She's
Nice.
amazing. Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Blaker Brewing, the official beer of the podcast. Located in Atwater and Ceres, this brewery offers not only delicious tasting beer, but great events that bring the whole community together. And this month, on August 25th, that's a Friday night, make sure your calendars are free from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's after work, you guys. Everyone can make it. This is a 21 and older event called Deja Brew. It's going to be located at the Tarmac, and it's basically their EDM festival. They got techno music, you guys. They got a whole bunch of DJs. They got performers including Spook, Berman Boys, Evoltant, and so much more. There's going to be food there. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be beer. There's going to be mixed drinks. It's just going to be a blast. I'll be there filming it. So make sure you guys are free on August 25th from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. for their Deja Brew event. Thanks again, Blaker. This podcast is brought to you by Crybaby Wine. Proudly located in Fresno, Crybaby Wine offers you your favorite delicious tasting wines like Chardonnay, Cabernet, and everything in between. Not only do they have these great tasting wines, but they also have delicious de-alcoholized CBD wine. Infused with CBD and CBG, these wines help reduce anxiety and alleviate stress. You can find their products at crybabywine.com, and if you live in Fresno County, you'll receive free delivery. Once again, check them out at crybabywine.com and follow them on Instagram at crybabywinecalifornia. Use CVP, yes, that's right, use the code CVP to get a percentage off of your next order, you guys. Once again, use code CVP. Thanks again, Crybaby.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, she's helped out so much on the film, like post, you know, like the film festivals. We actually just got invited to 2 more film festivals. So
so when you're taking this film around, how does that work with film festivals and being an independent film, and like, I guess you're pitching your film, right, to places?
Yeah.
Like, how does that process work?
Yeah.
I mean, you're new to it probably too, huh?
This is crazy. Okay, I was like, oh, I shot a movie. I'm done. Yay! Who do I give my movie to? What happens now?
Yeah.
What do we do? And it was like starting all over, man. It was crazy. I was like, this is so much work.
How long did I'm gonna go back. How long did the editing take of it?
Okay, so we were in editing.
Cough in the camera. I was getting on the microphone.
Yeah.
Come on, man. The editing process, like the first stage of it, took a year.
Dang.
It took a year, and then we did some reshoots, and we did.
How is it hard? How hard is it, like, reshooting?
Dude,
you know what I mean, because then you're like, is that one of the things where you're sitting and you're walking, you're watching it, and you're like, fuck, no, we can't, like, and you're trying to edit it in a way to make it okay or whatever.
So it's like, okay, as far as reshooting goes, I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. All right, we can do this. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
Okay. The guy who originally played my brother, he was not very good. Okay. And we're just like, okay, we can't have him. Thankfully, he's not in the film for a lot. So we're like, okay, we need to reshoot this.
Oh, so you just reshoot out those parts.
So we shot that. Yeah. We shot that.
We reshot that.
We reshot that.
We reshot that.
We reshot that. Okay, so yeah, we reshot that. And other than that, we added stuff to it to make it, because like, all right, so we laid everything out. We're like, oh, okay.
So he was bad at acting like a monkey, dude. I'm just kidding. This from the trailer. That's all I know about the brother, bro. I'm sorry.
He couldn't get the sounds right. It was like
he was more an ape. We were looking more of a chimp, you know.
Right.
So it was like
there was some confusion with what kind of primate we wanted.
Yeah. How hard was it? How hard was it letting that guy know that you're like, hey, by the way, we just completely reshot everything and you're out.
We actually didn't let him know.
He just had to see by the trailer.
Found out on IMDb.
Oh.
He's like, he sends me an email and he's like, hey, I noticed that you got another guy to play the brother. And I'm like, fuck.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
This is my baby. And
yeah. I'm just like,
I didn't want to. I'm not going to shit on this guy, dude.
No, and you know what? Listen, half of it was not necessarily his fault. He just didn't look like my brother. And that was my whole argument from the beginning. Like, he's a great guy, decent actor, but he just didn't look like my brother.
And it's hard for you to believe it.
Yeah, it was hard for me to believe it. Plus, like, the character, the way it was shot before, there wasn't enough connection between the kid and the father. You know, it's like, and you really need that right away because the dude's not in the movie that long, you know? So it's like, you really need that relationship to be like big and fostered.
You're like, God, I hope this kid didn't get too old.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my God.
Right?
Dude, that was such a nightmare.
Nerve-wracking. You're like,
my
oh
God.
Gosh.
It was crazy. Like, so this kid is, you know,
He looked way older in the beginning of the movie than he did at the end of the movie. What happened? It's like Benjamin Button over here.
Just have to add like a skincare routine for him or something in the middle of the film.
Yeah, you just like putting it on.
We're like, make sure he sits down and he does not stand up. Okay, we don't want to see how tall he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So the kid in the movie is actually my real nephew.
Oh, really?
He had never acted before in his life, but like we had this great chemistry always, you know, and like banter and he's so smart. The kid he's so bright. And I asked his parents, my brother and you know, my brother and his mom, and I was like, hey, like.
So did your brother actually pass away?
No.
Oh, okay.
So my brother is the nephew in real life.
Oh yeah,
he's my brother.
Yeah,
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's alive. But I asked them, I was like, hey, like if I asked Javi to play my nephew in this, like, would you guys be cool with that? And they were like, yeah, we'd allow that. So I asked him and he was like super pumped, but he had never acted before. So I was like, I worked on this script with him for like 3 days, you know, this one scene. And I brought the director in, and I was like, okay, if the director likes you, you're the guy. So he did this scene and he freaking killed it. Like he cried.
Oh.
This little kid.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was like, he came up to me after. He's like, I don't know what just happened. I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, you just crushed it, man. You just acted.
Yeah.
You know?
I just started crying, man. I don't know.
You know, and I would tell him like, you know, like give him some pointers on stuff to think about, you know? And he did it and he nailed it. And I
That's
was like,
cool.
It was
dude.
awesome, man. It was like not even just him, like, yeah, he was in the movie, but like my whole family is in the movie. My brother is
like
in
different
it.
parts.
Awesome.
Yeah, different parts. My wife is in it like 3 times. Like, it's like this fun thing we have. Like, how many times can you spot Mel? Like,
oh, is she like an extra at some point and
she's
stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
you know, you probably wouldn't recognize her except for one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'd be like, oh, see that girl way back there crossing? Yeah, that's her.
That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, the whole family, like we stayed at my brother's house, me and like the main crew. There was like 10 of us staying at the house, and then some other crew members stayed at my mom's house. We put up people in hotels. Like we had the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know? It was like crazy. It was like a total family affair for sure.
That's awesome,
yeah,
dude.
It was really cool.
And then I guess we were talking about editing and then reshooting.
Yeah. So the reshooting got really difficult. So we ended up we cast
This
another
is 2021 by now?
Yes, 2021. We cast a new guy to play my brother. And we rewrote the scene. Lots of love, lots of relationship, emotion. He did amazing. Love the guy to death. His name is Zane Haney. Amazing actor. He's actually the lead in another film right now, so I'm super pumped for him. And my nephew, who was 11 at the time, is growing.
Yeah, right? That's why I was like...
Yeah, and he's getting taller, and our last shoot that we did was this additional scene that we did, and he's like, he breaks his leg the week of the shoot. Oh. Yeah, like leading up to it, playing Pop Warner football. And his mom calls me freaking out, and I'm like, it's okay. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. I will figure it out, you know, and inside.
Sitting down a lot or what?
Oh yeah. That's what we hid him behind like chairs, and we had him sitting down.
I watched so Modern Family. I'm a big fan of it, but the whole like first or second season, whatever. His wife, what's his name? I can't think of, why can't I
Claire?
think? Claire, yeah. Claire is pregnant. But you can't notice, and literally the whole time she'll be like having a laundry basket in front of her.
What? I didn't know that. I love that show.
Yeah, they'll open the fridge in front of her. She'll be like leaning out of the side.
Gosh.
Yeah,
behind tables. Or on the couch.
Yeah, and they'll just have something blocking her being pregnant.
I had no clue.
Yeah, and
I
they did a
love
great
that
job
show.
of it. Yeah, great
so
job
good.
at it. But that's what that kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, we had to do that a lot. Thankfully, it worked out.
Yeah,
Nobody has noticed.
Yeah, cool.
So far, except for I have this one friend. His name's Michael Barnes. He's like, he's been my editor for a long time. I love this kid. You'll get to meet him. He has Asperger's, you know, so he's very like interesting.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, you know, he does this thing with his hair. Like he's like, I noticed that you had him sitting down a lot. Was that the part that you had to like redo? And I was like, yep. He's like, oh, I knew it. You know,
You're like, all right, just you that notices. It's okay, man. Yeah.
But I told him ahead of time. So he was kind of like looking for it.
Yeah. That's funny, dude.
Yeah.
That's cool though. So it was like your whole family.
Yeah.
That was there, and
the
everything.
whole family, was involved, and I mean, my brother's incredible. He's such a great guy. I'm so glad that he like, you know, like neither of us really like followed in my father's footsteps, I guess you could say, you know. But I'm grateful to say though that my relationship with my dad is good now. Like he,
oh really? Will he be there too or no?
He will be.
Awesome.
He's gonna be there. Yeah, you know, it's like you know, straight up like after you go through stuff like this, you know, it's like you're never gonna look at a parent the same way. You know, like I don't look at him like he was kind of like the father that I didn't have the father figure, you know, so it's like our relationship is not.
It's not father-son.
Right.
But it's like because you already dealt with everything yourself and everything like that. But like there's either two options, either like you forgive or you hold a grudge for the rest of your life. Like those are the two options. That's not anything in between. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so you're like, have a relationship with him now, basically.
Exactly. And like he like definitely feels like a family member for sure, but it's like it's different than my mom. You know what I mean? It's totally different, but I really like where our relationship is now. It took a long time to get here, you know, but I'm really happy with where it is now.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And he's still he chairs 12-step programs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's like that's what he does now.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah.
And so you finished editing the movie when then?
We finished editing. I mean, if you want to get technical, we had our first like world premiere at Sedona International Film Festival, which was February like 21st. And
this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got the final cut February 15th.
Dang.
Yeah.
And so it was just little tweaks over and over again?
Yeah. So it's like, you know, color correction. Like we had the picture locked, I would say 2022, probably like maybe like around September 2022, we had picture locked. But post sound is like insane how long it takes to do that. And you know, big shout out to the guys at Juniper Post. They, oh my gosh, you'll see, like this thing sounds incredible. Like you won't, like it's got 5.1 Atmos sound, surround sound. It's it's like what you would see on Netflix, any multi-million-dollar movie. It's like, it sounds like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude.
And it's all thanks to these guys who just totally helped me out. They loved the story. They loved the film. And they were like, you know, we want to help. And they worked with my budget.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah. So that took a long time. And then color took a long time too. And just little things, like it's crazy. Like in post, you have to do this thing called power washing. Have you guys ever heard of that?
I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's like some color thing where it's like if you need to make something in the frame lighter, but part of it can't be affected because it'll make it too light or the opposite or whatever, you have to do this thing where you put this like mask over it and you're going frame by frame. You know, it's crazy.
I gotcha.
It's wild. So yeah, this guy is a master. His name's Rustam. LA Colorist, I think is his company's name. But yeah, he works on a lot of big TV shows and stuff. He worked on New Girl and he's incredible, man. Great guy.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen him do it on a couple of the Central Valley sessions we've done here and stuff. To like, if someone's a little too far from the mic or something, we just have to, or like the light's not shining correctly in some areas.
Exactly.
I'll watch him mask something and just see movie magic.
I'll mask half the freaking thing. I'm like, whatever.
It's like the craziest shape possible to like make sure like a hat doesn't get in frame or something.
Oh,
like,
I forgot which one that was.
It's wild.
I know which one it is, but I'm going to keep it a mystery for the listeners.
I was like, I don't even know what one it is. Yeah.
I'll tell you afterward.
That's funny. And then February, you show it.
Yeah.
In Sedona?
Yep. Sedona, we had our world premiere and it was amazing. Like laughing, crying, feeling like that was the first time we had ever shown it to the public, you know? And the response was that we had actually 2 screenings there and both of the responses was packed. We sold them out and everybody loved it. And I was like, okay. And even the Q&A was pretty heavy, you know, like I was crying, people were crying, like it was pretty wild. And it just did so well. And then we started getting into more festivals, you know, and it's like, you know, a big thing of this is like learning how this festival process works because you can't just submit your film. Like if you do, chances are it might not get accepted. Doesn't matter how good it is.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get into good festivals, you have to either have big actors in your film or you got to know somebody straight up. Like
kind of like everything in life.
yeah,
though. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it is, and it's like it was frustrating for me because I didn't want to think that that's how it was. but it is.
Like
that
it's a
way.
good film. We should just be able to go in, man.
Just
yeah.
like, come on. So, you know, I'm learning as I go in this process, and here we are now. We got into our 10th festival just yesterday. Which
But
is
now, are you building credit with all the other festivals you're in?
Absolutely.
Like it's helping you out. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we've just been in.
yeah,
Blah blah blah.
exactly, and it's building credit for future too because they're like, your movie was amazing. Like anything you do, please let us know. You know, so that's huge in itself. And yeah, we just got into Santa Barbara Indie Film Festival.
awesome.
Yeah, and we got into this other one called Calcari. It's in India. Like I kind of want to go to that one. It's
That's crazy.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, that's rad. And we've won 2 Audience Choice Awards. We've won Best Actor.
You?
And,
Nice, nice.
Yeah, that was me. And Best Young Actor, my nephew.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Does your nephew want to continue pursuing this?
He says he does. You know, he says he
While
does.
playing football. It's like
Right.
What a duo, man.
I know, right?
like the
Like
drama
Uncle,
kids
like-
and football kids, man. But now, honestly, today's society maybe, but like I feel like when we were growing up,
Oh, yeah.
no way,
No way.
yeah, yeah. No
High School
way.
Musical really molded that guy.
yeah, exactly.
Totally.
I could play basketball and sing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's funny. And then but this is the first showing in the Central Valley, and this will come out afterwards. So it was a
Right.
great showing. So many people.
Yeah.
People were crying,
Loved it.
laughing. It was amazing.
I cried. Micah made fun of me for crying.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw it. It
Yeah,
was great.
just have zoom in on your face crying in the movie.
If it does happen, we'll put
And
that
so, what does
together.
it? Yeah,
That would be great.
that's funny. So, what does it mean to you, like showing it in the Central Valley?
Like, this is huge. Like in so many ways. It's like, you know, first of all, obviously the homecoming for the film, you know, but how much support has been behind this film literally from the beginning. Like when I told people that I was like gonna make this film, like people were like, oh, cool. Like, do you need actors? Do you need crew? Like, do you need props? Like I would post stuff that we like forgot we needed or something like that. Like, oh shit, we need a pickup truck. And you know, who could be here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Oh, I got you. You know, like the support that it's had like the entire time has just been otherworldly. Like I'm just blown away by it, you know? Like I've got some great friends in LA, don't get me wrong, and they would do, you know, whatever I need. But this is different. You know what I mean? It's like this hometown feel, like everybody rallying behind you. Like, I mean, we have over 400 tickets sold to this. Like, that's crazy to me.
That's awesome.
That's
dude.
insane, you know? Yeah.
And I do agree because like I feel like the Central Valley is very like you're saying hometown feel like it's a place with a lot of good people and who are like kind-hearted, where I feel like sometimes you get to bigger cities, it's like what's in it for me type of mentality, you
Absolutely.
know? And so that's what I've really grown to appreciate and like about the Central Valley, and kind of the birthplace of Central Valley podcast and everything else is just like, hey, like it's not like, I mean, you grew up here, you know how like everybody talks shit about the area
Absolutely.
all the time.
I mean,
know?
I have before.
Oh, I have
you know?
too. You know, we all have.
Yeah.
I mean, and we still do
We're not-
because
right. We're
it
not above
deserves
it.
it sometimes.
It does. I
No,
agree.
yeah, exactly.
Mine
Like this
sucks.
fucking freeway. God damn, you got
Fuck.
dude.
Oh, how was it
Merced's
for
the
you
worst,
getting here?
bro.
Bro, it was so fucked up.
You gotta go past and then back.
Oh, I should have let you know. Sorry, I just was like, whatever.
And I was like, Google Maps, like, what the fuck, man? How
It does-
come you're not telling me this?
It's like Google Maps is like, we don't have a feature that says that the freeway splits in half to go on the other side of the freeway. We don't have that feature yet because it's only one place in the world that has it. And it's only Merced too, especially, dude. It's like, don't get me wrong, the whole 99 is kind of fucked, but Jesus.
Yeah.
The past 2 years of Merced is like, I'm like, I used to have to tell people coming from Fresno, like, get us on the right side, because if you don't, you have to go all the way to Atwater, and then you have to come back.
It was brutal.
And then, the other day, I was like driving on the freeway, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, it was every single exit in Merced was closed except for the last exit. I was like, how do you guys have 6 exits closed? There's 7 exits in this town. Like, you can't just close 6 of them. Like, especially if there's not active, like if it's nighttime, there's active road work going on, whatever. But like, there was nothing going on. I was like, we just like, we're gonna get to this in a couple days, so we got to close them down now.
It's absolutely wild.
So yeah, we still talk shit about it when it deserves it.
Right.
No, but it doesn't deserve the amount of shit talking that it's gotten. Especially like, I do feel like it's kind of like, I feel like the last like 5 years it's gotten a whole, like, to me it's like a facelift of what it used to be. Do you like feel like going away, coming back, that you've seen like growth in the past years?
Absolutely.
And stuff?
No, a lot of growth in a positive way.
This podcast is brought to you by Connor Manufacturing Incorporated. They are a local family-owned and operated machine shop that services the Central Valley and beyond. They specialize in complex parts using the state-of-the-art manufacturing processes. Now, if you are interested in using their services, you can send all RFQs through their website at www.connormfg.com. Once again, if you're interested in their services, please send all RFQs through their website at www.connormfg.com. Also, make sure to follow them on Instagrams, Connor_MFG. Once again, that's at CONOUR_MFG. Thanks again, Sean. This podcast is brought to you by Delta Farms Trucking. They have been serving the Central Valley region for over 50 years, specializing in ag transportation and hay sales. They understand the importance of reliable transportation services within the ag industry, along with the vital role that high-quality hay plays in livestock. With their expertise in both areas, they strive to provide comprehensive solutions that meet the needs of both ag and dairy farmers. Call Spencer Vieira today at Delta Farms Trucking at 209-761-1465. Once again, that's 209-761-1465. Thanks again, Spencer.
You know, it definitely it feels like I don't even know like what to compare it to really, but there's definitely like a shift in even the way like it feels. You know, like it feels, it's almost like, are people like coming together more?
It seems more community driven now, almost like people are willing to go out to community events to do things a lot. And I think a lot of people, the pandemic showed a lot of people like, hey, focus on what you want to do in life. So a lot of people, like, vendor type fairs are huge now in the Valley. Like not even just like farmers markets or vendor markets. It's just like, we have this one in Merced. There's this store called Strangers or Supermarket, but they put this thing on in Merced and it's dope. They have like, I don't know, like 100 vendors come out.
It's cool.
And like, they do it in different spots. They did like in their parking garage. They do it on like on Main Street sometimes. They do it like in different parks and stuff. But it's like, it's not like your typical vendor fair where it's like, hey, we grew these, it's not like farmers markets. That's what, you know what I mean? It's like people who are passionate about what they do who have startups basically and that are trying to make it basically.
That's really
And we're
cool.
going to actually do a live podcast at the next one.
Oh, hell yeah.
And they're doing it with Tioga Sequoia Brewing. And so we're going to set up a live podcast thing. So also merch there and stuff.
That's really
so,
cool.
Yeah, we've done one live podcast event at the Central Valley Brew Fest. I honestly didn't even know it existed until.
I saw that.
I will drink less.
No, dude, we gotta drink more next time. We gotta drink more next time, Duffy. I want us to be like hammered by the end of it. Dude. No, it was really fun. And that's when we realized our fans are alcohol-based people. Because we did like a vendor fair one time, and I was like, I don't think we fit here.
Totally different
like,
vibe.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like different vibe, and like nobody's coming there to like buy merch from a podcast.
Right.
Where like if we were like doing a live podcast, people are like, what's this going on? Like, what's going on? And then like apparently a really popular thing is like you go to a thrift store and you buy stuff and then you just either put your own logo on it or you resell it for way fucking expensive. It's a weird type of like niche but like at the supermarket thingies, like there's like 25 vendors that do this.
Oh my God.
And so, but this past weekend I have a buddy who makes t-shirts, but I went to the thrift store and I bought a whole bunch of shit. and I'm just going to we're just going to screen print our own fucking logo on it.
I
and
love it.
Whatever. We'll see how that goes. But
I need to cop some merch, man.
dude, yeah, I'll bring
Do you have
something.
some here?
Not here, but
Okay.
I can bring it on.
All right.
on Friday.
We reordered
Okay.
some stuff.
Yeah,
Sweet,
yeah,
man.
and we're gonna
Yeah.
get some hats and stuff too, and then some limited edition stuff, I guess, as
Love
well.
it. Love
yeah, dude. But yeah, I think the community kind of is coming together, and I think for a long time it was
Yes.
like just not. I don't know.
Right.
Like I don't know why, but I think the pandemic really helped people like be appreciative.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't as crazy as it was in the bigger cities here,
Mhm.
and people were just like thankful to be out, and like people were going to the local breweries and buying beer because like all they could do was drive by and get a 6-pack or whatever. But it was just that kind of sparked it. And then when everyone did come out of 2020 and 2021, it was just like appreciative. And
Yeah.
I think that's what I think
That
it is.
makes sense to
That's how
me.
this podcast got born. Honestly, it was
Hell yeah.
then. So it just we've just
That's
been
really
rolling with it
cool.
ever since. I mean, yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love what you're doing, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
seriously, I love
that.
what you guys are doing. It's awesome, and I think it's great for the Central Valley. You know.
Yeah, and I think that they're like the thing that we realize is when we look when I kept being like, man, like everybody talks bad about it, but like not one person's talking good about it. And I was like, what if somebody just started talking about the good stuff in it? And then like we recorded 5 episodes of this podcast, and then I sat down and I was like, wait, what do I want this to be about? Because like if it's just me and my friends talking shit or whatever, that's not gonna go anywhere.
Right.
It has to be like a bigger purpose. And so like the tagline was like podcast that's man, I used to have it on the
A podcast about
the Central Valley
people who are a podcast about the talented people in the Central Valley and people who are
passionate about what they do. Yeah, there we go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like
and so I
it.
came out with that tagline, but it was like at a room in my house for like I don't know 20 or 30 episodes, and then
Yeah.
we got this place. And I mean, it's like people think it's like a bigger production and there's like all these people and stuff, and it's like no, it's just me and him, and my wife helps out with a lot of like ideas, and
Oh,
she
that's
gives me a
cool.
lot of promo ideas and stuff, and
I know how that is.
she doesn't think I give her enough credit for them. Sometimes like I say
I know
stuff.
how that is, too.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like just every single time, be like, that was my wife. You know, what I mean? It's like when your friend says a joke and no one hears it, and then
Right.
you say the joke to the group, and everyone laughs at you, and you're like, sorry, man.
Yep.
Yeah. But that's cool, and so
We
so-
love you.
Yeah,
We love you,
we
wives.
love you guys.
We love you guys.
Okay. That's cool, dude.
Yeah,
but
man.
and so outside of like acting and stuff like that, what do you like to do? Or hobbies? What are you passionate about?
You know, it's really interesting. I can't even remember who told me this, but someone told me like always do something that you're passionate about, which for me is like acting, producing, writing now, you know, film stuff. Always do something that makes you money, which is the sweet potato thing, and always do something that physically makes you happy too. So that way you're, you know, keeping your body healthy. So that's what I got. I play football. And I've got the sweet potato game, and I've got the film stuff,
Yeah.
man. So that's like, and believe it or not, just those 3 things take up like way too much
Oh,
time.
I believe-
I have no time for anything.
Trust me. The fact that we have this podcast, it's like in a month or two, it's gonna be like he's getting married in September 30th. I'm supposed to have a baby October 8th, which is very contradicting of me being in his wedding. You know what
The
I
whole
mean?
time I'm just like, please don't go into labor at the wedding.
Dude, I know. I'm just like,
They have a pool.
dude, yeah.
do have a pool.
We'll have a natural
Just have a
natural
water
birth in the
birth.
pool.
There you go.
Yeah, dude. It's like, yeah.
So far from a hospital out there, dude.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Nothing near.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like Los Banos doesn't have a hospital.
I think they do, but I wouldn't go there.
I don't think it. I don't know if it does, honestly. yeah. So, but we have that coming up. So we're gonna take a
Little
pretty much.
hiatus?
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, we might do some fun stuff like a Halloween episode.
Nice.
Like maybe one a month just to stay relevant or something. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, and it's like you need a break too.
Yeah,
Like we took
Totally.
last year we went ham. Last year we went from like February pretty much to December. We had 1 month off in it doing the podcast, like 3 episodes a month, and it just drains you.
Oh, yeah.
And like it doesn't get like, and so we took 3 months off. We took January, February, and March off, and we're just like, and we grew more in our time off than we did like the
What?
whole entire. And it was just
that's
because like
awesome.
And it wasn't like it was a full break. Like we just stopped filming,
Right.
but like we started really like working on like what we want to see with it, how we're gonna build the set differently, and like just acquiring stuff. and
Nice.
How the season should look, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden February came around. We're like, oh yeah, but we still need to stack episodes.
yeah, exactly. and then we were recording episodes, and then we got to this past month, and we're like, we don't have any episodes for this next month.
Oh shit!
And it just because then we were like stacked up 6 episodes at one point. We're like, oh, we're chilling,
Oh,
you know?
we're good. We're coasting.
And then like we had two podcasts last week, and then one this week. But that's awesome because they're the 3 coming out this month right now.
Perfect.
So we're not normally. Sometimes we'll be saying jokes that are like 2 months old that like have nothing to do with what's going on anymore, and people are like, damn, they're still talking about this. But yeah, I'm glad that it's become, and like I think people think like the Instagram is pretty big, and people think that it's a bigger thing than it is, which is a great thing for them to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, so do you know who LaRussell is?
Yeah, the rapper.
Yeah. So we just had him on, and like that podcast kind of reminded me like. It like this like although it's for the Central Valley, like I have to like be like, hey, this is for you and the things that you're passionate about as well, because like the Russell podcast was huge for us in the sense of like, dude, we got this rapper who's like popping off, who like we both look up to, he's independent, doing things differently, and then like when I was posting the promos and stuff like that yesterday, at one point I was like, oh man, like they're not doing that well, you know what I mean? That was my mind thinking that, and then I was like, hey, like think about how happy you were when he was there, how happy. I was like, chairs. I was like slapping the chairs.
I'm so excited to hear this crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But then that's when I was like, it's like one of those things where it's like I got to be more conscious of like the joy that it brings me versus like, because you can get caught up in the social media game, people watching it, views and all that stuff. And that was one of the things I was like, oh man, I thought I would do way better. Then I was like, at the end of the day, whatever, because it's like it was a goal of ours. Like it was our goal for the season. You know what I mean? And so that's like was something that I've been more conscious about, was just like, hey, what makes you happy? And if that makes you happy, fuck everybody else. Honestly.
Exactly. Like that's how I see it. Like if you're passionate about this, which you guys definitely are, like it shows in the work, you know, and if it shows in the work, other people will see it. And if they're passionate about it, then it's just they'll share it and stuff, and that's how it grows. But it's like even, you know, stuff will hit probably for you guys like from months and months ago that'll just start like
randomly.
And I mean this thing's forever. That's the cool part. Like anything we film, if we want it to live, it lives forever.
You exactly.
know? So I think that's the beautiful part of this. Like you'll be able to continue doing this as long as you want, and it'll continue by itself. If you know. Yeah,
exactly. And it's cool because like, I mean, a lot's going to change for both of us in the next couple months. And so it'll be interesting to
how we're going to get back into like the creative space while he has a child now. I'm married.
Yeah, you're going to have your wife there, and you'll have your little one here.
Baby, my new co-host. My buddy was, he got
harvest right in the smack dab at the end of it. Just like,
yeah, dude. Yeah. My buddy got me got my child a onesie from newborn all the way to 12 months, and it says the Central Valley Podcast logo on it, and then it says co-host on the back of it. And I was just like, oh, that's like the best gift I've gotten. Yeah, like I haven't gotten the rest of the baby shower gifts, which is on Sunday, but I know that's probably the best one.
That's so thoughtful.
Yeah, exactly. Just the fact that like, yeah, and it's one of those things that's like my friends, like I wonder what my friends think about this, honestly, because like I'm sure everybody has a friend that says they're going to start a podcast, right? You know what I mean? And you're like, yeah, we'll see when it burns out. And a shout out to Duffy for jumping on board and being like, let me edit your audio, let me be a part of.
Oh, I wanted a piece. I was like, I was like, let me be a part of this, please.
Yeah. And the chemistry you guys have is amazing. Like I love it.
It's
great.
We've been friends for a long time. So that helps.
Yeah,
hell yeah.
Yeah, my cousin said my cousin Zach was like, you're the Will Ferrell and he's your John C. Reilly. And
love
I was
that.
like, there we go. That's
that.
I don't know if you saw the poster in there that we have of Step Brothers, but
dude,
we photoshopped
see the poster,
we photoshopped like my face on Will Ferrell and his face on John C. Reilly on the cover.
Oh my God,
and then instead of Step Brothers, it says Central Valley Podcast.
That is genius.
Yeah. So we need to start selling those, honestly. I mean, I'm sure there's some copyright thingy, but whatever.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so gold.
And then have you see all our shit Central Valley people say video?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That one like went.
Dude, so
crazy.
It went crazy for it. So we posted it and it did well. It got like maybe 50,000 to like 100,000 the first week or two, and then like it kind of stopped, which I was like, wow, that's great. Like that did great. And then like 2 or 3 weeks later, it started like going off again, and then it jumped up to like almost like 400,000 views and stuff. And I was like,
nuts.
damn. And then, so that one helped us a lot. And then actually, when Merced was flooding, we got hit bad by the floods when it was raining hella hard and everything. And like I made like one video of it was just the river being super full, but that shit got shared like 300,000 too.
I think I saw that one too, actually.
Yeah, and so that kind of started. That was like on our off season, and I was like gaining hella followers from that. And I was like, I became like a little news agency for like that time being. I made like 2 videos about that. Then back to my bullshit of like funny stuff. Yeah, that's funny.
I love that one you guys did with the ranch. Like,
oh
dude,
yeah.
I've watched it like I can't tell you like
Really?
at least 10 times I'd say.
Dude,
it's
you,
funny,
dude.
man.
Yeah.
It's funny. I love that.
And that's
one.
funny because when we were making that one, I was like, I don't even know, like it was like we had the loose idea of we're gonna go do the job interview, and that's all we had planned. And like people kept adding stuff to it, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna fucking like. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna edit this up and make a promo out of this though, because there's so many different dynamic parts. But it's like it's funny. I'll have like six edits of a promo because like I'll edit, export it, and then I'll be like, okay, like the cadence is off, the rhythm's off, and then sometimes I'm just like, fuck it, whatever, I gotta put something out. But generally it ends up finding itself and working out. But it's funny like how it'd be like something at the very end of it. I'm like, what if I just put that right in the beginning, and then it ends up working out. But yeah, we're glad with how it's happened.
And that happens with films.
Yeah,
you know,
right?
like it's like
fucking Memento. Have you seen the Christopher Nolan one? I'm like, what the fuck's going on in here, man?
They'll take shit that they didn't, you know.
Quentin Tarantino, for example, fucking Pulp
Exactly.
Fiction. It took me like 3 times watching that to be like, what the fuck's going on in here?
And we did something like that too. Like, I remember that there was a point where it was like, okay, we need to get to this point quicker. So we took some stuff out and we put it in a different spot. You know? Yeah, like you can do shit like that. It's like
a flashback or memory or whatever.
Not even.
Oh, really?
It's just a part of the It's like and pretty much all films like will do that to an extent. Not all of them, but a lot of them will do that. So you have like 3 different versions of the film, right? You've got the one you wrote, you've got the one you shot, and then you've got the one that's edited.
Yeah, huh?
And sometimes they're drastically different.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Even me and my buddy, when we did our short film, it's like, it was for a 3-minute film festival thing or film competition for Rode microphones they're putting it on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still ridiculous. I like when you watch it, you're going to be like, how did you guys not even like place in the top 100? I'm like, what the fuck? Because it was good. It was like really legitimately good. But when we did that, we got a hat. They sent us a hat from it. But we wrote, it was like literally handwritten front and back of one piece of paper, and it was too long. Like for the film festival, we had like 6 or 7 lines we had to take out, and there's just like not that many lines in the whole thing. But it was just one of those things where like you're saying like we had the idea of it, and it was the only time I've ever like actually like we practiced it. We like fake acted it in my backyard and everything like that. But yeah, the edited version came out way different.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's
you
cool.
You even did voiceovers for it.
Yeah, which
you came to my house. And
in hindsight of it, that was way harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, you know, like, so you're familiar, like, so not every single thing that you guys do, you have to go back and do it. But you know, sometimes movies, you can almost tell that they went back and dubbed it over or whatever.
Yeah, I hate it.
So we did that because we were like outside.
hard.
We were outside, and so we were like, we need to make sure we have good audio. But then you overthink, like, okay, that person's far away, but you still need to hear them. But do you make it sound distant? I don't really know. You know what I mean? But we went back and did that, and like I couldn't re-say shit that I said, like, and we couldn't figure out why.
It's hard.
Yeah, dude.
That's why I have a hard time with it, because it's so hard to mimic it.
Yeah, because you have to mimic that same exact feeling that you had then. And sometimes you're like, you had like a quiver in your voice that you're like, how do I like have that same thing? Because I'm not acting anymore. I'm like just redoing the. Dang. Yeah, that's fucking wild.
It's hard. It's really hard, and everything. You know, the environment you're in, all of that affects it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not in the scene anymore with everybody else. You're just.
And even the room. The room will affect the way it sounds. Everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Have you ever done any animated
Position
stuff?
of the mic. I haven't done any animated
I don't know,
stuff.
Just curious. Yeah.
But I did. You know, I've done a couple shorts that we had to ADR the whole thing. You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the whole thing, and then I've done several movies where there's always stuff you have to do an ADR line here, there, whatever. You know. Yeah.
Dang.
It's an art for sure.
Yeah. That's why I was like, oh man, this is way harder than I thought it would be. That's cool. Well, how can people support you?
Yeah, I mean,
in the movie,
right? Yeah. So TravisAndreRoss, if you know.
Social
on
media.
Instagram. Yeah, social media. It's probably the best way. TravisAndreRoss. And then, let's see. For the film, I think it's called Central Valley, the movie. Let me...
Is that the title of it?
Yeah. I think that's
on
the
Instagram.
IG.
Yeah, look up on the Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram.
Yeah, I think it's Central Valley the movie.
Pretty sure it is.
He got
Yeah.
it right here.
Okay, cool.
Central C.
I know what the fuck you
What the heck?
Oh, Central C.
Central C. That's so funny though. Like, when you were talking about the rapper, because I have a friend who I grew up with.
Mhm.
His name's Travis Murray, and ever since I known this kid, I mean, I'm talking elementary school.
Mhm.
He's been rapping. All right, he still does to this day. And when I made my movie, you're
Uh-huh.
sure as shit, I hit him up. That song that's in the trailer.
that's him?
That's him.
Oh,
That's
nice.
dope,
and
dude.
he wrote it just for the film.
Sweet.
It was so
That's
fucking cool.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Wow, I was wondering that too. I was
Yeah.
like, man, like that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Central Valley the movie.
Central Valley the movie. So yeah, I mean, right now, because the film isn't out yet,
Yeah.
that's like the best way to support us is through social media for sure, getting the word
Mhm.
out. But it will be on streaming probably next year. We have 2 offers for distribution right now, and I have something else in the works that I'm super excited about that I can't quite talk about yet, but it's coming up soon.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, man.
And so, yeah, and then it'll be on streaming. And then is the idea with the film festivals to like, could it potentially get picked up to go like on bigger screens or no? I don't know how film festivals work. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the time, like film festivals are basically to get the word out about the film, like show it to people. There's a lot of distributors that go watch films, go to film festivals. Sales agents, foreign sales agents will go to film festivals and stuff. So it's definitely like a way to get some accolades, and hopefully like a lot of people, that's the goal, is to sell the film, get distribution. Some people just want people to see it, you know? Which it's a great resource for that too, you know? But yeah, that's with us right now, is just like trying to get these accolades, trying to get the right people to see it. Because I mean, I've had a couple distributors come up to us and be like, hey, we want your film, but you know, I'll look at their websites and I'm like, I don't recognize any of these films. Like, this movie can't be that, you know, this is too good of a film. It needs to be somewhere where people can access it and people
actually
will
watch
see
it.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, man.
Well, Travis, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I truly appreciate it. I had a blast talking to you, man.
Dude, it was awesome. Thank you too, Duffy.
Yeah,
You're
no
the
problem.
fucking man.
Thanks for coming.
Duffy's the fucking man. And
Fucking man.
Shout out Duffy, shout out Micah.
This is it. Central Valley Podcast.
Hey, big shout out Central Valley Podcast. You know I had to fuck with it. Hey, shout out Central Valley Podcast.